Thompson and St. Croix side by side, racing it out. Who has the faster car to finish this thing? St. Croix is gonna bring it home in first. What a race at the end of that thing. Caution, caution, caution. Come around the corner. Jamie Horn is going to be your winner here at the Mars Properties 200. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Echo Park Speedway, welcome to Atlanta, and welcome to the Group 6 Cup Series. Thank you all very, very much for being here. So we already got people joining into the stream here. Thank you so much for being here with us for the Doghouse Racing League here in the Group 6 Cup Series. As always, my name is Hunter Foley, and I'm up here with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, for the Group 6 Cup Series here at Echo Park Speedway. Before we get into all of the racing action that we are going to have here tonight, let's make sure we get the bills paid. Let's make sure we thank all of our sponsors. As I said just a second ago, this is the Group 6 Cup Series, and we are very proud that they are our series sponsor this year. Group 6 is a leading creative agency. They are passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com. That's GROUP, the number 6inc.com, and see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks to Group 6 for being the series sponsor this year. The Doghouse Racing League is also very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. We are also very proud in the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series to be sponsored by Butt Kicker. If you want to take your iRacing or sim racing experience to the next level, be sure to head on over to their website at thebuttkicker.com to get the best in racing haptics. Longtime sponsor and longtime supporter of the Doghouse Racing League. Be sure you head on over to their website and check them out for the very best in all of your iRacing haptic needs. With that being said, we are over here at Echo Park Speedway, formerly Atlanta Motor Speedway, getting ready to get into some of the action. Got the guys out on the track getting their practice in right now. Don, you want to talk to us a little bit about Echo Park? Talk to us about Atlanta, see what we think.
Yeah, back out here at night 2 for Echo Park, formerly known as Atlanta Motor Speedway, now known Echo Park. For the Atlanta Double, this is going to be our second run here. We were here 2 weeks ago where that BMP team, just kind of took it by storm with 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the longest time. I think Nick Atwood ended up falling off near the end of the race. Got into a little bit of an issue there, but still between Gary Clune, Kevin Thompson, and Andrew St. Croix, those guys were leading up front all night. We talked to St. Croix and Thompson after the race, and they were very confident about continuing that strategy pulling into tonight, but saw a lot how much that draft plays, and really got to stick together as a team, and I'm wondering who's going to break up that team tonight to try to push BMP out of there. And remember, the winner tonight does get the points, but also the driver with the highest average finish over the past 2 races between the first Atlanta Double and this Atlanta Double will receive a flag from Doghouse Racing League for their best average finish here of the Atlanta Double. So a lot of people are fighting for that tonight. I mean, I feel like that's kind of more important than some points, but you know, that's just me. I'm not going to win a lot of points, but maybe I can get a flag. We do have 4 minutes to go here. Hitting up our practice time, then we're going to get into some qualifying here. You can see Eric Warman got that fastest time right here on the track. Eric's been really good this year, been making a lot of improvements. I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do tonight. If I had to take a guess, I think he's going to stay with those BMP guys, and why not? I mean, those guys know what they're doing. They had a good strategy. You either try to break them up or you try to hang with them, but that's definitely a strategy you're going to see a lot of people play here tonight. That team works really well together. So look out for him to be at the front. Usually always is. Kind of starts in the back and always makes his way back up to the front before the night's over with.
Definitely going to be very interesting to see how that dynamic works out tonight. Yeah, we got 10 people already here in the stream, so thank you all very much for joining. If you haven't had a chance yet, be sure you like the stream and subscribe to Doghouse Racing TV so you don't miss any of the action that we're going to be bringing you this year. As always, we got BMAC in the comments. Motto for Atlanta: rising again. This means you, Andrew, and all of Team BMP rise to the front and stay there. Team BMP hasn't been having to rise to the front very often here recently. They've just been at the front. So looking forward to seeing how that goes tonight. I know we've got a absolutely packed field here tonight, so sure to be a lot of exciting racing, and especially here at Atlanta, getting some really fast speeds out there on the track. It is going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, I'm looking through it now. Looks like we have about 30. Oh, I'm sorry. That was driver number. 27 people registered for this race. As it stands right now, 3 of them have not made their way out on the track to get any practice laps in. But looking here at Brent McCoy in that 99 car, he is labeled as 29, but the car is going to be showing 99 for tonight. So just something to keep an eye out for. Also, some other things. We do have a newcomer, 2 newcomers, as I can see here. In a Ray Rittenor, the second. He is now on the track right now, but currently sitting in 15, going to be in that 133 car. And then another person that me and Hunter's pretty familiar with, and Brandon Trush, coming over and joining the Doghouse Racing League. Actually taking my old number in the 23. So he's going to be running that here tonight. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. Also running a Nap Daddy scheme. It's actually one of my favorite Nap Daddy schemes that I have made to date. So excited to see that. Some things to keep and watch for here tonight as we continue on too. Just like you saw Eric Warman jumping down the pit road here. These drivers will have to enter pit road from the backstretch tonight. You cannot jump down here even under caution. I made sure I asked before. Cannot jump down the front stretch to go down pit road. You have to enter from the backstretch. See if we can catch somebody as they're driving around here. Looking at Chris Simon here. And you can see there's a line on the track right where Simon's coming in at right now, actually. So that's a very good view for us. Thanks, Chris Simon, that 21 car. And if you miss that, you will get black flagged.
So I was taking a look at Brandon Trush there. That Nap Daddy paint is just shining in the sun. That is really pretty. I'll see we got the number 88 machine of Josh Cully back out here tonight. Josh Cully, along with Eric Warman's often been one of our kind of guys that we talk about where they kind of start toward the back and work their way up to the front. Excited to see what he's going to be doing out there tonight, but really just excited to get to this race, and I think this is going to be a really exciting race. It's a ton. I think watching races in Atlanta is a ton of fun, and it's definitely going to be a challenge for these guys. The new updates, Atlanta can be so loose. I don't think we got too hot of a track tonight. I think it's about 86, so don't think it's going to be too bad, but definitely going to be a challenge that these guys have to overcome.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the race info for tonight. Humidity not as bad as it was last time out here. It's dropped a little bit. Wind's about the same at 6 miles an hour. Also looking at track temps, about 86 degrees with an ambient temp of 81 degrees. So could be a little slick. I know I did actually get the chance to race here in the next gens not too long ago, and I learned a lot about these cars pretty quickly actually in a little practice session. But these things like to spin if people get up behind you and just kind of run up on you the wrong way. So very fickle cars. But I did discover, I know we talked about this a lot last race, that there wasn't really a high side. I think I found a little high side there. Maybe not the highest lane, but riding that second lane and really pulling a side draft off people, you can see some people shoot to the front here tonight if the tires will allow it. So more strategy as the people start to figure out these cars and learn how they're going to play. But you were watching that race actually, and the high side, it can play that second lane up. We were making some runs through there, but we are about to get into qualifying here, seeing who's going to be the first out on the track, and it's going to be the usual Mr. Mike Leftwich. Go ahead and get in his car. I'm about to make his run. I feel like Mike is always one of the first ones on the track for qualifying. Driving for that Shoney's race team in the 60 car. All the way from West Virginia. Got the West Virginia colors too. Looks like Mike's going to start this run on the high side, try to get as many RPMs behind his car as possible before making his laps here. Kind of similar to what you see at Daytona. You want to stay high, take the longest part of the track for the first lap, make sure you really build up those RPMs. And then I think we'll see him drop to the low side here on the front stretch coming up. I believe Tony Martin will be the first one to cross the line for his qualifying lap coming up here soon. Yeah, Tony Martin just finishing his first lap, 32:10, posted it up there. So we see Mike Leftwich take that low side. Mike's right behind Martin with about 1/100th off. Tyler Millette taking the pole position. Brent McCoy, he won here earlier this season. Going to fall in right behind him. Take a look at Eric Anderson here. Had a really good run last time out. Made a pass at the end. Picked up a third place spot. Also picked up a top 3 finish at the Daytona race last week for the Firecracker 150 that Doghouse posted. So he has been on a roll.
Also appreciate everyone being patient with me, and I also apologize for having to run away there. My dogs decided they wanted to taste each other, so that's fun. But I appreciate everyone's patience with me broadcasting the Firecracker 150 so that my boy John could get out there and get some laps. Did the best I could, so appreciate everyone joining for that and hanging out with us. See Kathy Trush and the see Kathy Trush also in the comments saying Team Trush number 23 got Brandon over here with us for the very first time in the Doghouse Racing League. Excited to see how he's able to do tonight. Currently got Jamie Horn out there with the best qualifying time of 31.475. Man, those qualifying times are close. Good God.
Here's Kevin Thompson. Won it here last time out here, not last week, but the week before. So he does have the highest average finish right now, in line to get that flag from Doghouse, but looking to bring him down. Eric Anderson has a good shot. Andrew St. Cour, who just picked up the pole position, has a good shot. I think Andrew finished second out here last time. Yeah, with a pass at the very end of the race.
He did. It was a really, really fun race to watch. So excited to see how this one's going to go. If the last one was any tell, then we should have a really good night of racing here.
Looks like Zach Michael has a new car.
Razor close. I'm looking at 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th right now. Eric Anderson and Daniel Wilkerson currently tied for their qualifying position with a 31.502. Chris Leftwich with a 31.507, and Jonathan Jennings with a 31.509.
Right now, I am showing Mike Leftwich, Eric Anderson, Daniel Wilkerson with the exact same time. I know on your screen it does have all these guys tied up. Looks like 4 through 8, but I'm trying to figure this out. My screen over here gives me one more decimal place. And I mean, they're tied to the 1,000th right now.
Unbelievable.
Leftwich and Jennings are just a little behind that 1,000th, but not much. But wow, that is crazy. I've never seen that many people hit like almost the exact same time. I don't know if I have anybody on the track right now.
Yeah, we got 25 of our 27 have put down a qualifying time at this time. Looks like that's actually going to be the end of qualifying, and it looks like Josh Cully and Eric Warman will not be taking the track to put down a qualifying time. Can't say that that's entirely unlike either one of them, as both of them do generally like to drive up from the back, but looking forward to seeing where they're going to end up, because I can almost guarantee you, barring any sort of caution issues, they will not finish there.
Oh, 100%. Josh Cully, we know from what he's shown us this whole season when he comes up here that he knows how to get through a pack. He does not mind starting in the back and save up some tire and get through. Eric Warman is the exact same way. So those two guys will be at the front, I think, by the end of the night, barring any issues. That is the one problem about starting in the back, is you have to make it through the pack first. But I think a big issue that these guys are going to have to face tonight, we saw it the first week, is cautions. Not avoiding a wreck, but when to pit. If I should pit under caution, if I should wait till a green flag, do we chance it? They were getting about 50 to 62 laps, I believe, last time in the tank. So it's going to be tough. It's a strategy. I know those BMP guys hit that strategy on the head last time and pulled out away from people.
Yeah, they were just completely in sync last time. I mean, we were really, really close to having them have that 1, 2, 3 finish, and I'm definitely expecting to see another really strong performance out of Team BMP tonight. I know we had that kind of friendly competition between Andrew and Kevin. For Kevin, he considers this his home track, so obviously expecting to see him do extremely well tonight. But Andrew St. Cyr got past just at the very end. Just really, really great racing. I know Andrew's out here trying to bring home the checkered flag this time, not just for Team BMP, but maybe get his get back just a little bit, you know?
Yeah, and we talked about it too. There's about kind of leading up to, are these guys going to be teammates through and through till the end? And I think we all agreed. I think Andrew St. Cyr agreed with us in the booth here, but we're teammates until the last lap or until Jesus comes back, whichever comes first.
As soon as and they weren't just teammates until the very last lap. They were teammates until the last turn.
Yeah. I love that philosophy. I adopt that philosophy. I'll be your best teammate. I believe in it.
I trust it.
Yeah, I'll be your best teammate until the last lap or until the world ends, whichever happens first. But last lap, man, we're going for it.
Last time, I'm curious to see how things work out at this race here tonight. But last time, we saw the low side had all of the speed all night long. It was almost impossible to get anything moving on the high side. And then, like right there at the very end, Kevin was able to get that really good run on the high side, able to get around Andrew St. Cyr. Eric Anderson was able to follow behind and get that third spot. But before, it was all low side up until that very last lap. It was really tough. So I'm very curious to see if that's going to be how things go tonight as well.
Yeah, you almost got to wonder if those guys see that last lap and how it played out, if they try to experiment more with that high side. I know we talked about it just a second ago here. I actually had the opportunity to run a race at this track last week and learned a lot of things about this car, learned a lot of things about this track and how it handles now. But I found some speed on that second lane up, kind of right above where Tony Martin is running now. If you just hit that side draft just right, You can really get past some people here, slow the car down, jump in front, and keep leapfrogging on your way on through. But there was a lot of speed on that high side, especially on the front stretch. Back stretch, maybe not as much, but that front stretch and coming out of 4, you could really find some speed there.
It's just really tough to kind of hold it down, like you were just saying, and very, very interesting to see how that's going to play out here. I know the guys, I've been seeing them kind of pick some different lines as they're going around here in practice. It doesn't really look like anyone's holding one particular side. I'm looking at Jonathan Jennings. Looks like he's out there with Tyler Millette right now. Got the 39 right behind him. Or I think it's the 39. And they're kind of working that low side. But then you also see some of the other guys out there that were finishing up their practice laps that were definitely riding the high side. So definitely going to be interesting to see how that ends up playing out as this race goes on, especially as it gets darker and the track cools off a little bit and you're able to kind of keep and hold more grip up on that high side.
Well, right now, as time is winding down in our warm-up session, we are about to grid up. Let's flash up the current point standings coming into tonight. You can find this on the Doghouse Racing League website at doghouseracingle.com. Go under Cup Series and you can see the point standings for yourself if you're looking for your favorite driver. But coming into tonight, Jamie Horn still got that lead. Andrew St. Cyr in second place. Kevin Thompson moving up a spot, getting that third place spot in front of Justin McMahon. McMahon's going to fall down to fourth. Eric Warman staying steady right there in fifth. He is 1 point behind Justin McMahon. All he needs is a finish in front of him tonight to move up another spot. Seth Fitzpatrick, haven't seen him in a few weeks, sitting in sixth place. Adam Thompson in seventh, looking for a good run out of him tonight. Had some trouble last time. Gary Clune up in the front last time with that BMP team. He's in eighth place, move up 2 spots. Then we have Shane Parrish and Christopher Simon. That's going to round out your top 10 as we get closer to just playoffs coming up here. Let's see if we can get you down to the grid and walk you through. Everybody's going to be racing here tonight. Trying to see if our leaders are going to come on up here and grid up. But starting that front row, we're going to have Andrew St. Cyr from Beast Mode Performance. On the outside of him is going to be Jamie Horn in that 98 car. Second row, we have Kevin Thompson and Mike Leftwich from that Shoney's race team, looking to get the Shoney's team up there in the front tonight. Third row is going to be up Eric Anderson, finished third here last time, and Daniel Wilkerson. Next row is going to be made up of Chris Leftwich and Jonathan Jennings, 2 other Shoney's drivers here tonight. Coming into that fifth row, starting ninth place, Nick Atwood from BMP and Gary Armijo in that 10th place spot. 11th place, Gary Clune, also Beast Mode Performance, right behind his teammate Nick Atwood, and on his outside will be Steven Bonomo. Starting 13th, well, that is Chris Simon in the 21 car. And 14th is our newcomer Ray Rittenauer. I hope I'm saying that right, in the 133 car. Next row is going to be made up of Tyler Millette and Brent McCoy. Starting 17th, we have Tony Martin and then Adam Gardner in 18th place. Starting in 19th, Zach Miller and Brandon Trush in that 23 car from Nap Teddy Racing. It's a good looking car, I'm not going to lie. I think it was, I'm blanking on the guy's name that drives it. Ooh, it's the Grape Edition Jordan car. Fitted for his sponsors at Clem Speed Shop. They have Zach Michael starting in 21st place. And on his outside would be Justin McMahon. Starting 23rd tonight, Joe McKnight, Mark Dumont in 24th. 25th will be Michael Dow and Josh Cully in 26th, who did not qualify, and Eric Warman rounding out the pack in 27th, who also did not put down a qualifying lap. Again, I'm not too worried about either one of those guys. I think they'll be at the front. Just got to keep the nose clean.
One thing that I am kind of noticing here as we get things rolling before we get to the start, it looks like Nick Atwood is going to be serving an EOL penalty at the beginning of this race, so he is going to be starting at the back of the pack. And then one other thing that I unfortunately want to keep an eye on, I've seen several people as we've gone through practice have some upload packet loss. I know we've seen some kind of crazy internet glitches out of iRacing here over the past couple weeks, including, unfortunately, one for yourself, John. But I did see Chris Leftwich, unfortunately, got bounced out. It looks like he's rejoined and is trying to get out there on the track, but it does not look like he's going to be able to take the green flag as we get this thing started. As the green flag waves, and we have Andrew St. Clair taking the low side, followed by the number 6 machine of Kevin Thompson. Jamie Horn there on the high side, and he's going to close in there, get right into third place. Eric Anderson going to be right on his bumper.
My apologies, got to adjust some volume there for you. A little quiet, but yeah, Kevin Thompson getting right behind his teammate. Kind of the same thing we saw last time. Jamie Horn going to be in that third place spot falling behind, and Eric Anderson in fourth place. Eric's got to have a lot of confidence coming into tonight after that finish 2 weeks ago here, and also with a great finish at Daytona in the Firecracker 150.
100%. And I actually see the leaders right now are getting ready to run up on Chris Leftwich back out on the track, and that is very good to see. But unfortunately, going to be starting his race kind of on the back foot here due to some internet issues.
Yeah, it looked like Mike Leftwich also dropped way back too. I think he was exiting pit road as this race was getting started. Flashing back to the front here, we got a lot of movement coming out of Daniel Wilkerson, trying to get that high line started, moving towards the front.
Oh, the 13's trying to hold it high. That was really close. Looks like somebody down there on the low side right now already. That's Nick Atwood dropping in the back of the pack there.
I believe St. Clair's going to be leading every lap of this race so far.
Again, not unlike what we saw last time we were at Atlanta with these guys. Andrew St. Clair very dominant throughout most of the race. He's got his teammate Kevin Thompson there right on his bumper. Again, it's a mirror image. This is exactly what we saw happen last time. Andrew St. Clair, Kevin Thompson working so well together. And it wasn't until the last lap when we saw anything kind of switch up. We did see some other leaders in the last race. I believe Kevin Thompson did lead a few laps during the middle of the race. Jamie Horn got him a couple of laps led as well. Do you think we're going to see any different pit strategies for these guys as this race goes on? I think in that race we had 3, maybe 4 cautions.
If I'm BMP, absolutely not. I would do the same thing until somebody makes me not do the same thing. Those guys had it figured out, knew what they were doing, had a plan, attack, stuck to it, did a really good job. Even on the pit cycle under green, they were able to get out way out front, actually. Only had to deal with a few lap cars.
100%. And I mean, like you said, they were able to build out the most convincing of any of the leads that we saw that night. No one was able to really ever truly pull away, and I know that can be kind of tough to do, especially at draft tracks where it's just kind of easy to kind of close everything back in. But I mean, they were just convincing all night long. Like, you knew that those BMP guys were going to be finishing up near the top, and it was going to be a 1-2-3 BMP finish up until there at the very end. But as far as the front, Andrew St. Clair and Kevin Thompson, again, just working perfectly well together. You got Gary Clune right there in the number 11 machine. He's right there as well. Eric Anderson. running a very comfortable third place right now.
And I really
And you still
like
get-
what they're doing up here as teammates between St. Court and Kevin Thompson. They talked about it last week, how they timed the bumps coming into a corner because these cars can spin. But you also see St. Court also being a teammate here, staying just a little high coming around this corner. That allows Kevin Thompson to get lower than the car in front of him so he doesn't get so aero tight when he goes through the corners.
Yeah, and that's especially, like you said, that's so important, especially as being teammates. And I mean, they're just working so in sync together. And it's going to be, if they're able to kind of replicate that same level of success that they had at the last Atlanta race, it's going to be very tough to top anything that they can do. Because I honestly can't say that over the course of this season, I've seen two teammates work that well together at a track.
And Gary Clune's trying to get in front of Eric Anderson to get that spot and help out his teammates here. Eric Anderson made that pass on Clune last week to take the spot away from him and grab the podium. We just saw Jamie Horn.
Big checkup back in the middle of the track. Saw Brendan Trush drift all the way up, touch the wall.
See if we can shuffle back here. Trush loses a few spots. He's still up 3 spots for the night. His first run with the Doghouse Racing League. Brandon, part of another league that we broadcast for on Monday nights. If you're interested, you can check out Nat Daddy Racing on YouTube. And we host that league, or broadcast that league over there as well. Picking up Trush from them. Thanks for sending over a good driver to Doghouse. We love getting some good, clean drivers in the Doghouse Racing League. And I'm pretty protective about the leagues that we broadcast for too. When I have people ask about it, if they're not a good driver, man, I don't tell the admins. I tell the admins pretty honestly what I think. If I think they're clean, mainly for clean. I don't care if you're good, just be clean about it. Trush has definitely got my stamp of approval. Very clean driver, can hold it together very well. Same thing
nice
for
guy,
yeah, Jamie Horn the same way, going over to that league on Monday nights too, and he got my same stamp of approval.
One thing I am starting to notice as well is, again, we were talking about a mirror image of our last Atlanta race. It's the low side. It's always been the low side, and it remains the low side. Oh, big checkups. Middle of the track. In the back, we got cars in the wall.
I see Zach Miller trying to gain it back on the track here. Not sure what happened here. Joe McKnight, I'm seeing having some issues. And he is still
Joe
in a
McKnight
tow.
having to go down pit road. I cannot believe that was not a caution, actually.
Oh, no. I would like to see what happened here to Joe McKnight. It was stuck on Leftwich because he was having some issues. That's going to be a black flag regardless, but he has got some damage from before. We'll try to flash you back to that later on through the run. Catch back up with our leaders here. I think Core still got that lead out front. Daniel Wilkerson back there on the high side in that 28 car. Trying to get that high side running here with a 57 of Jonathan Jennings behind him. I believe that's going to be a number change for Jonathan Jennings just this week. So a lot of shakeups here with some numbers and some paint schemes.
Yeah, from what I saw, it looked like there was a checkup on the low side, and you had someone at the same side trying to move down to the low side. It looked like Zach Miller and Joe McKnight kind of got together, and I mean, it fully sent Joe McKnight into the wall. He was all the way around.
Some unfortunate luck early for these guys, for Joe McKnight, Chris Leftwich.
Starting to see some more movement there toward the back of the pack as well. I just saw Jesse McMahon drop down to the low side, trying to get on that speed that it seems like the low side has performed so well here over our last 2 races in Atlanta. But you still do see a lot of guys trying to give that high side the old college try. Eric Anderson leading that pack up there on the high side. I mean, he's got a whole line of cars behind him, but it just looks like that the high side can't get any sort of get up and go to really have anything to push those top 4 drivers.
Yeah, I mean, I say I raced here, what was it, last week, and we had a lot of success on that high side in these next-gen cars. We're really driving through the pack. However, one thing I'm noticing that I did a little different, and a teammate of mine that we were finding a lot of success with, is we were side drafting like crazy, coming out of the corners and really making sure we're holding guys down and trying to pull the air off the car. And it looks like these guys are spacing out right now. I don't mind that at all. It's a long race. We have about 13 laps to go until the end of this first stage at lap 33.
One thing that did shuffle things up a little bit as well is Mike Leftwich, who's now a lap down, just got lapped by that lead pack, fell into line. He's currently running in what would be the 6th position right here. It looked like it kind of slowed that low side down for just a second, but he's all the way back up to speed. Now he's just kind of part of the pack, as it looks like they are going to move around the 91 of Nicholas Atwood, who's up there on the high side. That's going to be his 2nd lap down.
Yeah, and lap cars in the pack doesn't bother me. I mean, I've heard a lot of controversy, this and that about that. If you're in the pack and you're helping the drafts, that's the best thing you can do as a lap car. Maybe you'll get to the front and get your lap back that way, but I know a lot of people sometimes have problems with that. I'm fine with it, especially tracks like this and your Daytonas, other super speedways. That's totally okay with me. Just don't block. If you're blocking a car on the lead lap, that's a little different. Ooh, big shuffle there. Brent McCoy.
Some of our biggest movers so far as well. Gary Clune up to 3rd from 11th. Chris Simon up to 6th from 13th. Todd Millett up to 7th from 15th. Raymond Rittenhauer, newcomer to the league, up to 8th from 14th. Justin McMahon now in 10th spot, up from 22nd.
Yeah, I'm showing Justin McMahon is our biggest mover right now. 11 spots up for tonight in that Group 6 Chevy 24 car. Always a classic. Always consistent with the car scheme, and I like that scheme he's got there a whole lot. I wish I had a camera that zoomed in. You know, we're a big sucker for paint schemes out here at Nat Daddy Racing, but he's got this little, it's a black matte finish on the top, but it's got these little dots in it that are almost a gloss finish that add a little bit of texture to it. And gets the jimmies.
It's just classic stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Russell's the jimmies.
That's what I'm trying to say.
There we go. We found it.
Words are hard these days, man. I can't even say that.
Someone else that's rustling jimmies is the Beast Mode Performance Team and Gary Clune, now in 3rd place. BMP in the top 3 again. Very similar. Not very similar. Exactly the same as our last race at Atlanta. We got Jamie Horn running that high side, able to dive down, and he's going to be able to get up into that 4th spot. Looks like we've got the high side starting to pick up a little bit of speed now at this point as well.
I'll mark you down for a transition for that. That was pretty good.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I do keep a little notepad so I can keep score throughout the run. We're going to keep in score. We need to pick our winners for the night.
God bless it.
This, I actually picked my first driver correct not last week, but the week before last, and that was Kevin Thompson. I told him I would not pick him again because it just seems like bad luck.
Oh, wreck in the middle, wreck in the middle. Justin McMahon definitely going to be involved there. Brent McCoy all the way around.
Oh, McMahon's able to skirt through. Everything looked fine for guys like Brandon Trush for a second, and then he somehow got around.
56 of Adam Gardner slow. We're going to have to go back and take a look at the tape on that one.
See if I can pull this up here. It seemed like a lot of spinning before any caution actually came out, so I might have to rewind this from where the point shows me. It's showing nobody else crashed before this incident here, but you can see up there at the top of your screen the 24 car getting right into the side of Brent McCoy in the 99. See if we can back that up just a little bit to see what happened here. We'd like to go to the front of this corner. So we're coming through. I don't know if Justin was trying to split that lane there, push it 3 wide to gain some spots. You see Bonomo kind of up in the wall, probably caused a little bit of a checkup. As Britt McCoy's going to have to try to dive down to avoid it and gets right in front of Justin McMahon. And he's going to spin into the newcomer of Ray Rittenauer. McMahon taking a lot of damage there. Trush able to make it through for the first part. And he's just trying to hold his line down at the bottom. Looks like Gardner gets into him a little bit and gets him spun around. And we saw McMahon kind of skirt through these cars here. Let's see if we can go back just a little bit more. Look into the cockpit cam with Justin McMahon. As we come around turn 2 here.
My dogs decided to lose their minds again. Just the perks of having a home office, I guess. What did you see there that was of interest to bring out that yellow flag?
Justin McMahon driving through there with some damage. You can hear that car, just something slapping on that right-hand side there. Really looked like just a checkup on the high side. Brent McCoy trying to avoid the issue and getting right in front of Justin McMahon. So unfortunate for him tonight here. Hopefully he can get that thing fixed and back out on the track. He still does have it on pit road right now.
Yeah, that is one thing that does kind of separate the Doghouse League from other leagues, is there is no fast repairs. It's a special occasion. Like, I know we had one for the Firecracker, but it was kind of a fun run, but normally in these races, it is just standard racing for everybody. And so if you end up getting damaged, unfortunately, that could be a really hard turn for the rest of your night. I know Zachary Miller's now out there a lap down. Nick Atwood currently running 2 laps down. I believe he had some issues at the beginning of the race. And Justin McMahon still on pit road, trying to get that thing repaired. It looks like Michael Dow, Joe McKnight, and Chris Leftwich have all called it a night at this point, giving us 24 cars out on the track and 20 on the lead lap.
I'm trying to find Daniel's message, and I will get to it here in a second, as we are about to go green flag racing here with 2 left in the stage when we cross the stripe. Good jump on the outside by St. Cour. Not sure if that was a strategy by those BMP guys on the low side or not, but Jamie Horn's going to take full advantage and hop right in line. Gets behind St. Cour, holding on to that second place spot. See if he's going to make a move here at the stripe to try to get that spot and get the first stage.
That was a power move out of Jamie Horn right there, and I think really smart racing, trying to split up the BMP guys. I mean, when you have teammates that are working together as good as they have, I mean, anything you can do to kind of mess with that rhythm a little bit is going to be pretty major in terms of how you're able to affect the rest of the race. But Jamie trying to look to see if he has any space, but Andrew St. Cour doing such a great job of just sticking it to that red line on the low side. Not able to go anywhere. You got Kevin Thompson. He's right on the bumper of Jamie Horn, Gary Clune right there in a very close 4th. Do not throw the caution for the stage break in the Doghouse Racing League or in the Group 6 Cup Series. It is just 4 points.
They're coming around.
It's still very competitive.
Yeah, this will be the end of the stage right here. See if Jamie tries to make a move. It looks like Kevin Thompson's going to try for the high side here. This is probably going to block Jamie Horn from making a move.
He's going to look for some help from Jonathan Jennings, and he's got the help, but not enough doing there, at least for that stage. Congratulations to Andrew St. Croix for getting those bonus points, winning that stage, and also for going wall to wall for that stage. Looking like that high side starting to get a little bit more juice right there. Jonathan Jennings on the bumper of Kevin Thompson up there on the high side. We've got Gary Armijo up there as well, doing a really good job of trying to push that group forward. Oh, little bit of wobble right there. It just looks to me like right now on the high side, you have to be so perfectly in sync to actually get some push, and then you can look down there on the bottom. I mean, there's separation there. Like, it's not a perfect line, but they are still just able to pull away.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to be in sync, but also very consistent with what you're doing and keep that momentum going. As soon as that momentum breaks at all, it seems like that high side just falls to pieces.
Got Mark McCrae in the comments. Great to see Andrew up front again this week. Is that setting sun going to be a factor tonight? We were actually talking about that right at the beginning of the race. So as that sun sets, the track is going to cool down, which is going to be able to give you a little bit more grip. Track already not extremely hot, especially by Atlanta standards, only 84 degrees right now. But you would be able to think that as the track cools off, it's going to give you more grip, which should help you on the high side. It should be able to see you get a little bit more push, because right now that bottom side just has so much traction. And we're seeing Kevin Thompson actually make a play for the lead there on the high side, being pushed by Jonathan Jennings. So I'm get a little bit loose there and fall off the bumper. I believe it's going to allow Andrew St. Croix to maintain the lead for right now.
Yeah, I think as the sun goes down, we've already seen the track cool off about 2 degrees since race start. It's going to continue to cool off a little bit, but also at the same time, that rubber is going to start mounting up on the high side as well. So that could also be a negative factor for some of these guys here that are trying to run that high side. But I think if you stay low enough in that second to third lane, maybe second and a half lane, really, you might be able to find some success as it gets cooler. I know especially at around 1 and 2 where that shade is setting in right now, might see a little more grip come out there as well, but whatever benefits that high side is probably going to benefit the low side as well.
Sure. I have been seeing on the high side as well, it seems like everyone's just a little bit more loose up there. Like, it seems like it's a little bit harder to hold it perfectly straight, as we see, you know, on the bottom side. Like, there is maybe a little bit more separation, and of course, as I say that, we start seeing the bottom side move around a little bit more. But it's been seeming like, at least even with the 2 cautions that we've had so far tonight, it does kind of seem like it's a little bit easier to get loose up there. But big high side run via the push of Jonathan Jennings is going to allow Kevin Thompson to take the lead away from his teammate Andrew St. Croix for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and then Kevin Thompson cuts him off and just not cuts off St. Croix, but cuts off the draft from Jonathan Jennings. Kind of leaves him at there high and dry. It's going to slow him down a little bit. Less Gary Armijo and that 7 machine gets behind and gets a good push. Looking at him and Steve Bonomo up 5 and 6 spots respectively. Trying to make a good push here to get to the front.
Yeah, Steven Bonomo having a great night, up 5 spots tonight, up from 12th now in 7th. Mark Dumont also having a fantastic night as well, up to 8th place right now from 24th. I know we brought it up in the beginning of the race as well. Josh Cully started 26th. He's in 14th.
Yeah, good to see Josh back out here in that 88 car. He was having a pretty good point season early on and took a brief little hiatus from the Doghouse League for a few races, fell back a little bit, but we know he has the talent to get up to the front.
Kind of seeing that 1 and 2 spot again, just Andrew St. Croix and Kevin Thompson able to just put so much speed running alongside, running right behind each other. Gary Clune now Gonna move up, try to get that third spot away. He's got Jamie Horn on the high side. Chris Simon in the 21 machine right behind Gary Clune. They are just really making that low side work. And man, I don't know what sort of potion Team BMP has cooked up for Atlanta, but it works.
Yeah, I think it's going to take somebody, a few guys, going to have to get around them and between them to split them up one and then get on that bottom side and really maintain control for the remainder of this race.
I really don't know what else it's going to take. You see a lot of other fast drivers out there. Jamie Horn up there. Jonathan Jennings up there. Tyler Millette up from 15th. Now in 6th place. He's on that low side right behind the 21 machine of Christopher Simon. Trying to get up there with this lead pack. And in the end, you're just seeing that huge push out of the low side, how quick it can move up.
We just saw Chris Simon kind of float up a little to the high side. I don't know if that was intentional to help out his teammates back there, but you could see some people start just like he's doing there. If he keeps doing that, especially on the stretches, on the front stretch and back stretch, he kind of expands that draft bubble a little bit. Jamie Horn will be able to fall into that and catch a little bit of a draft and get a little bit of a run there.
I know we were talking about it when you were running at Atlanta last time you were behind the wheel, and really the only way you could make, without the significant help on the high side, really the only way you could make something work was just getting it on the side draft. And with those cars on the bottom of the track, maybe even without realizing it, start to drift up a little bit out of their side, that's going to allow that high side to get a push, especially if they do have help like they do right now. Saw a big push to Jamie Horn. Jonathan Jennings, believe, giving him that push. Able to kind of slow that run. It looked like the whole low side was going to move past there for just a second.
Yeah, no, that was one of these strategies that me and a teammate talked about while we were there. He was a little bit up ahead of me when I was trying to catch up, and he would keep popping out just a little bit on that back stretch and front stretch. And I was able to hook onto the draft just a little bit and get a lot of speed right where Jamie Horn's at now and pull my way to the front. And that might be a strategy you see some of these guys work later. A lot of teamwork has to go into play at these draft tracks like this, though, to get something done. I know Simon is teammates with Jonathan Jennings, who is right above him right now. But also not teammates Jamie Horn and Jonathan Jennings, but work very well together.
Yeah, we'll see. These guys all, we've talked about it time and time again, just the sheer amount of class that is here in the Doghouse Racing League in the Group 6 Cup Series. And so you'll see, I mean, obviously, you can see how well teammates work together as you see TBMP again take that 1-2-3. But you do have guys like Jamie Horn, Jonathan Jennings. I mean, they've known each other for a long time. They work really, really well together. They're trying to make that high side work for them right now. You're going to see guys from different teams helping each other out. It just all depends on the circumstance. But starting to see that 1 and 2 spot get a little bit of a separation there, even from their teammate Gary Clune.
I just heard somebody blow up. I'm not sure who it was. See if I can shuffle back here to the back. Justin McMahon still on pit road. I thought I saw Rittenhour take pit road, but I heard somebody definitely blow an engine there.
Yeah, Rittenhour back a little bit by himself right now. Currently running 21st, a lap down. Our lucky dog contender at this point currently is going to be Zachary Miller, currently running in 20th. He's a lap down. And the person in the at least the most imminent danger of going a lap down would be Adam Gardner, who is 15 seconds off of pace, running in 19th right now. He is drafting, though, and has a little bit of help from the other team, BMP, Nicholas Atwood, who is 2 laps down. So they're both going to be about 16 seconds off of the pace, trying to keep that from going any further.
Looking at a nice sunset from the back bumper. Tyler Millette currently.
Oh, that's cinematic.
Oh yeah, right behind Chris Simon, trying to get his way up here to the front too. Trying to keep that door closed, not let anybody from that high side drop down in front of them. That's another challenging part. Because, I mean, the draft's going to take, and you're going to give and take a little bit, fall closer to a car or fall away from them. But you got to make sure that door is closed and nobody can get in front of you if you're trying to hold that position.
It just seems like such give and take on the high side and the low side, right? I mean, it seems like for about 2 or 3 laps, you'll just have that low side making such a push. It almost looks like the entire line is going to go past the high side. And then right now you look out there, especially those top 4 cars on the high side. You got Jamie Horn, you got Jonathan Jennings. You got Gary Armijo up there as well. You got Tyler Millette on the low side, right below them. Oh, it's going to go 3 wide here as we have some lap trap.
Yeah, that's Britt McCoy up there on the high side getting past right now. He is a lap down. I believe he is 18 laps down, not just a lap. But Mike Leftwich right in the middle of them. 3 wide, able to get around. Current biggest mover of the night, Josh Cully, up 15 spots, sitting in 11th place right now. Enjoying his time on the low side behind Tony Martin in that 2 car there.
Yeah, I can't say we didn't expect it. That's kind of the Josh Cully special. Start at the very back and just ever so slowly and carefully and methodically work your way up, and then all of a sudden you turn your head around and it's like, oh, Josh Cully's in 3rd.
Yeah, he was our 2nd biggest mover, but now he just moved back to our 3rd biggest mover behind Martin Vermont, but he is up 11 spots. Eric Warman also on that low side behind Brandon Trush, trying to make his way around. Just find a gap any way he can.
Yeah, it seems like these guys have kind of started to settle into their rhythm a little bit here on lap 58 of 130. I expect we'll start to see a little bit more shuffling around as we start to come to the end of stage 2, which is John.
I am pulling it up right now. It is 65. I just read it and I forgot it. Lap 65.
I'm really good at that.
Yeah. End of stage 2 will be coming around here in the next 7 laps. As we hit lap 59 here. Got to make it around that 65, that lap 65 one time and back to the stripe to get those points. Kevin Thompson been leading this thing for the whole 2nd stage. Got a good push out of Jonathan Jennings to get around his teammate St. Cour. Dropped down immediately, took that number 1 spot, and has not looked back since.
Doing an excellent job. It's been, again, just the Team BMP show, and Kevin Thompson doesn't want to let Andrew St. Cour have all the fun here and has been leading this thing now for, I believe, about the last 25 laps.
Yeah, he's in line to get that flag. Again, the highest average finish from the first double and the second double. We'll get that flag from Doghouse Racing. They're super cool. It has your car on it. It is something I've always wanted to fight for, but a lot of talented drivers in this league hold me up sometimes. AKA, I am too slow to win the flag. But guys like Kevin Thompson and Andrew St. Cour have a really good shot here tonight. If St. Cour were to win this race tonight, since he came in 2nd last time, the average finish would be the same if Kevin Thompson finished 2nd. And the flag would actually go to St. Cour because he has the highest total points of the 2 races with his stage wins last week. Jamie Horn making a good run there. I think he was trying to dive low in front of Chris Simon, couldn't find the door. Gap not big enough for him. K-Doggy in the comments, what's up? What is up, K-Doggy? Mr. Kevin Brown. Anytime we see his name pop up, got to give a shout out to Trackside NASCAR Outlet, sponsor of the Doghouse Racing League. Sponsors the Tuesday night series. The really good one if you want something to watch on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. on Intensity Broadcasting on YouTube. Doghouse Racing League in the ARCA cars. Just had our first season race for points Tuesday night. I believe that win went to Mr. Jamie Horn at Daytona. pulling up the pit stop laps here for you. Nobody has pitted yet except for Tony Martin in 9th place in that 2-car. Pitted on lap 28. So these guys are coming to the end of a cycle here. You're about to see some green flag pit stops pretty soon. I would expect in the next 10 laps, if not sooner.
We're also going to be coming to the end of the stage here, and it doesn't look like Kevin Thompson is looking to give up that lead, but again, just Team BMP all the way across the top 3. Chris Simon's starting to make a big push as well. He's trying to get on the bumper of Gary Clune there, up from 13th now to 4th. Tyler Millette also with a big run down there on the low side, up from 15th to 7th. Do you see any differences, or have you seen differences between how the high side ran last time and how it's running tonight?
It looks the exact same to me.
Looking to the comments, you got Sean Thompson saying, "Keep it up, Kevin. Maybe another T-shirt next Atlanta race."
Yeah, Kevin Thompson wanting a T-shirt from Sean Thompson last time for picking up that win at Atlanta 2 weeks ago in the first Atlanta double. He's going to be our stage 2 winner for the night. Trying to get that T-shirt, trying to get that flag, trying to move up in the points. He's currently sitting in 3rd place in the points right now after moving up in front of Justin McMahon. McMahon's going to fall down in the points 1 spot from not last week, but the week before. I'm going to fall a little bit more tonight as he is still on pit road.
And there goes Team BMP. All 3 of them down pit road. Maybe not quite as Blue Angel-y as we saw them go down last time, but still very in sync. And you can tell that they are working together so well here tonight. Chris Simon took the lead away from them for just a second, but it looks like he might be stuck on the high side, which is going to allow Jamie Horn to take the lead at least temporarily, but he is going to be pitting, as is Jonathan Jennings. Looking like Steven Bonomo also going to bring it in this time by.
Simon's holding it down there on the top side. He's got no help right now and able to maintain some speed here, so waiting for somebody to jump out with him. Give him a little push.
It looks like everybody's trying to just ride that low side and let him go. Tyler Millette going to take the lead, pushed by Tony Martin. Got Josh Cully up there currently running in 3rd place. Just saw another car drop down to go down on pit road.
That's going to be the 14 of Mark Dumont as he makes his way down pit road. I don't see his teammate and Richard Leclerc out here tonight. So Tyler Millette's going to be your leader for the time being until he decides to bring it down pit road. Not coming down this time by Chris Simon will, though.
I mean, these guys have got to only have, what, maybe 3 laps to go of fuel?
I would even think less than that. I mean, it's got to be this time or the next time, but I got to imagine they're kind of trying to stick as a pack. I just saw some smoke, and I tried to cut to it.
I saw the same thing and was trying to do the same thing.
I could not find it.
I
Like
think it
Mike
might have been Chris
Leftwich taking it.
Simon, or
I got Chris Simon on pit road now in his pit box. Mike Leftwich bringing it down. That is not correct. Trying to get you the pit lane time so you can see if your driver is taking it down pit road. We've been able to catch most of them. Nobody going this time by, though. Ray Rittenauer is down on pit road now. You got to think this has got to be it. They got to bring it down here. Can't imagine they have much more left in the tank. Looks like Millette's going. Cully's going to go.
There we go.
Martin stays out.
What gas those guys have left in the tank?
Remember, Martin pitted on lap 28, so he has probably got a full tank. Some of these other guys have been hanging back in the pack just a little bit. Might have a little bit more fuel to spare, as they've probably been half throttle, half of this race by now. But We know Brandon Trush had to pit earlier because of that wreck. I believe the same thing is true for Zach and Michael. Yeah, you see most of these
So
guys have already
realistically,
pitted.
they would have how much more gas than the rest of the pack at this point?
About 28 laps. Looks like all those guys up there in the front did pit on that lap. On lap 28 or 29. So they'll be able to hold out for a while here.
But they're maybe making it to lap 100 or just after.
Yeah, probably 103 is what I would think. 102.
It's still going to make things very interesting for the rest of this race. Like you said, all these guys, all these 8 guys right here are going to be able to hold out. Or we have these 6 guys out here on the track currently, and it looks like Adam Gardner is running 7th currently. I don't know if you're showing the same thing. I know my system can be a little delayed to reset sometimes, but he's about 23 seconds off the pace, but he's in a comfortable little 4-person draft pack that just working his way back forward.
Yeah.
But now all of the leaders here at this point are going to be a lap down. So even when these other guys do have to come down pit road, doesn't mean it does happen under a green flag. I mean, it's an entirely different race.
Yeah, and it'll probably cycle out. What you got to do here is, if you were those leaders, really try to make up time. Before we were all pack racing, we're all together. Now we're separated in the packs, and you got to commit to your pack to really push and make up a lot of time to stick together. This is where you're going to win races here in the Doghouse Racing League off this green flag pitch road strategy. The more time you can make here, the better off you will be when it does cycle out.
I understand. We've seen it before. I mean, if you can build up enough of a lead using the green flag kind of pit cycle, even if it does cycle back out under green flag racing, all of a sudden you're back out on the track. You're maybe only 3 or 4 seconds off the pace, and now you've got the 30-lap fresher tires. I mean, we've seen it time and time again happen in the Doghouse Racing League, and I think what this pack behind our leaders right now, I think the thing that they're praying for is no caution. They need this to stay green at this point.
If there was a caution, though, you would think that these drivers here in the front would go down. That would give those guys that are a lap down the wave around, since they would not pit in that situation.
They would just be starting at the back of the pack, though, at that point.
Yeah, at least they'll all be on the same lap, though, and able to catch up. Just pack race it again to the front.
True, true, true.
I'm trying to get the deltas up really quick to see just how far away.
It's like Eric Anderson brought it down, so, I mean, that's going to send him off the pace there. Looks like now we only have 3 drivers in that lead pack that are deciding to keep it out and keep it pushing.
Yeah, pulling up the deltas here too, you can see that St. Cor and his pack, between him, Kevin Thompson, Gary Clune, have made up about 2 seconds on this lead pack in the past 6 laps here at Atlanta. So those guys are gaining, trying to make a good case for when this thing does cycle out. Hopefully it stays green. We know those guys work well together. Josh Cully and Chris Simon also following suit with those BMP guys. And I mean, if it works out to plan, that might be your top 5 right there.
Right now, Tony Martin still leading this thing.
Until now, Daniel Wilkerson takes him over.
Until now, Daniel Wilkerson takes him over, being pushed by Brandon Trush in that number 23. They're able to make that high side work. Got Tyler Millette right on the bumper. Now Brandon goes to the low side. He's going to leave Daniel up there on the high side. Brandon Trush going to make a push. Let's see if he can get a little bump here from Tony Martin. Daniel Wilkerson and Tyler Millette working that high side. Tyler Millette, one of those cars that is laps down. He is actually 3 laps down at this point. But as we bring it back to the stripe here, Brandon Trush going to lead that lap in his very first race with the Doghouse Racing League.
Yeah,
I know we've talked about it ad nauseum before, but I love weird pit road strategies. I think that was such an interesting wrench into how the race progresses. And to see Brandon Trush, Tony Martin, Daniel Wilkerson, those guys up here running seemingly very successfully at this point. We're now on lap 84. Still do have plenty of time left, but I mean, at this point, you've got, other than Adam Gardner, you've got your 3 guys all running there, pack to pack to pack to pack. And you've built up such a big lead that, I mean, at this point, it's going to be really tough for any of these guys to run you down. As we just saw Zachary Miller there, who was in 5th place. Now he's a lap down as well. Only 4 cars on the lead lap at this race currently.
Yeah, what's
Got Jeff
really...
Trush in the comments saying, let's go number 23. I know we saw Kathy Trush in there earlier. Number 23, Brandon Trush. Out here leading the laps at Atlanta.
Yeah, what's really helping these guys out this front pack right now is that they're still 45 seconds in front of the guys behind them. But the thing is, you got to think about how far out am I in front of the car behind us or the pack, and make sure that pit road time is less than that, even if that means maybe we take only 2 right tires next time we come down. You know, just fill it up with a splash of gas, but just enough to get me to the finish line. Whatever makes the pit time the shortest, because you might have to live off just 2 rights here for the last few laps if you want to beat these BMP guys tonight. 46 seconds, not a lot of time.
Yeah, especially if this thing stays green, man. I mean, it's a whole... But when you consider that, you know, all these guys are also going to be a lap down. I mean, if you have 46 seconds, I mean, that gives you 46 seconds of space to do whatever you got to do, get down pit road. And then if they were going to lose the position, they'd have to get all the way back around again. I mean... I know I was saying earlier, if you were the guys behind our leaders right now, you were hoping to stay green. But I think at this point now, especially the way we see Brandon Trush, Tony Martin, Daniel Wilkerson running, I think they might want to stay green.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's going to be right now. And there's not enough time to take 4 tires for these guys. They got about a 43, 44 second lead out in front of this second pack and that BMP team. That's not a lot of time to take 2 tires on pit road. Maybe if they do 2 rights, it might work for them, but it's going to be very close. You have to get back on the track and be very in sync with each other. Just unofficial teammates for the night working together to try to get this win.
And by 43 seconds, you mean that they are 13 seconds ahead right now, and then roughly... the other 30 would be them to get around and get past.
Yep. So 43 seconds total.
Yeah, we saw in qualifying the fast laps these guys were running. Again, for qualifying was right around that 31.4 mark or so. That is going to be slower during the race. But I think, like you're saying, if you're a Brandon Trush or a Tony Martin, as we approach lap 100, you know you're going to have to come get some gas. But, I mean, it really does seem like your tires are in okay shape. Maybe you go get those right sides changed out so you don't completely burn them out, but go get you enough gas to make it the last 30 laps. I mean, you've got half a chance at this thing if it stays green.
Another interesting thing, I don't know why I just thought about this, but we've talked about these tires don't wear as much. They do heat up a little bit, but they do not wear as much. Do you take the risk and not take tires at all here? I mean, you've been holding a lead or holding your time. It is decreasing slightly as we pull it up again between Brandon Trush and the pack led by St. Cour right now. I know that's showing Adam Thompson. Let's pull up St. Cour. They are gaining slowly over the past 6 laps, but it's only been about a second over the past 6.
Yeah, and I mean, when you consider that the difference in tires, and you also have to consider that the pack that's trying to chase you is BMP, because that is Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, and Gary Clune working together. And over 6 laps, they've only been able to gain about a second on you. I think you can start to make an argument for. I mean, you could absolutely have an argument. I think probably, like you said, the only decision that they could really make is to only take right sides. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can see a world where they don't take tires at all and just get the gas to finish this thing, because they're obviously still running really well and working well together. I mean, when you have what have been the most fast and dominant cars out on the track, and they're working together again, and they're only able to gain a second on you on 40 lap fresher tires over 6 laps, I would say that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, cutting back to the second pack now, you can see they're kind of a little split up, more than you would like to see for a pack trying to gain and get to the front. But you know, this front pack here, they're telling their crew chiefs 2 tires is not an option right now. That is out the window. You can go ahead and send them back to Goodyear. We don't need them. It's either going to be 2 rights or no tires at all, and you have to make sure everybody in this line knows that plan, and we're on the same plan. The worst thing that could happen is if Brandon Trush or Tony Martin or even Daniel Wilkerson, who was on the lead lap in 3rd place, came in and one of them took gas, but the other 2 took 2 rights. That would ruin the whole thing. You wanted everybody to come at the same time, leave at the same time. I do not have the voice chat pulled up tonight. I know you have that over there, but if you haven't turned on, but hopefully those guys are talking about right now about what's going to happen here in the next 5 laps or so.
I actually haven't had my voice chat on for most of this race because, to be quite frank, I was having some audio issues and it was coming out of the wrong thing, and I haven't heard it come out. As I say that, Tony Martin, Daniel Wilkerson announcing over the radio that they are pitting this lap.
Here we go. This is where it's going to shake up right here. Cannot overrun your stall. Got to make sure you hit your marks just as well here as you did on the track. We've said it. This is where you win and lose Doghouse Racing races here. Especially in this Group 6 Cup Series. Everybody's competitive. You have to win your races off good pit stops. No black flags. Don't overshoot.
Brandon, Tony, and Daniel ran a risky strategy. As you see, the leaders, or our former lead pack, come all the way around right there. They just passed them. See the right sides go up for Brandon Trush.
See Tony on the ground taking rights. He's not going yet.
They're taking 4. And Brandon Trush is off of pit road. Daniel Wilkerson just now pulling off. And there go the lead pack right there.
Yeah, they're going to get that lead right back. Wow. I'm shocked.
Yeah, they took 4 there. I don't know. I guess we have to do the math on that. So they were able to make it about, what, 70-ish laps on that tank of gas?
Yep. These guys will not have to pit again up here at the front. They pitted on, I believe, lap 68, if I recall correctly, 67. So they are good to the very end. They can make it about 73 laps, maybe 71 to 73. So these guys are out here running it till the end as your new leaders. Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, Gary Clune. Little deja vu coming back into play here. It's this BMP team leading it out here in the front. Chris Simon hanging in 4th place. Josh Cully up 21 spots in 5th.
And I wonder if Brandon and those guys are thinking that with the fresh tires, they might be able to gain ground. But as we were just talking about, I mean, Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, Gary Clune, they've had the fresher tires. And they work together so well as a team. And they were only able to pick up about a second. So I really don't think that the tires are going to really play that much into this thing. And, I mean, realistically, getting around there, I mean, you can assume that if they only took the right side tires, they might have cut 4 seconds off that pit stop, 5 seconds maybe. They still would have gotten past.
Yeah, they probably would have got past. They might have been able to link up with that pack, though, and still had somewhat of a shot to get near the front. So, I mean, those guys are coming around quick.
Now we are right back to where we started with our last Atlanta run, BMP 123.
Nice.
Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but I like it.
We got Josh Cully just made that pass on Chris Simon. Simon's going to drop back behind some lap cars here, and Adam Gardner, Nick Atwood. Atwood down a few laps, so part of that BMP team. You know he's going to be looking to help.
I just heard Tyler Millette come over the radio and say that he is low on fuel.
Cut over to Tyler Millette. We can pull up his pit stop lap here. Maybe we can't if we go down to this one. He is low on fuel. He pitted on lap 73.
Interesting.
Maybe he didn't take gas when he pitted there. Something happened. I don't know.
The twists, the turns. If this doesn't get you riled up for the Group 6 Cup Series, I really don't know what will.
Yeah, there's some separation.
Sim Speed Nation
here.
saying tough night tonight. Mark McRae, does BMP stand for BMAC Performance? It might as well.
I do know we did get word this week that Beast Mode Performance, that team is going to help sponsor 2 of our races here in the Doghouse Racing League that will be at Daytona and at Indianapolis. So special shout out to them. Thank you very much. I know they're not sponsoring this race, or not a sponsor yet officially, I guess, but will be for those 2 races. So always got to throw the thank you out there for that. It means a lot to have people come out here and sponsor the league, support the league, keep this thing going.
100%.
This league's been going for a while now.
If anyone does have a business or a company, whether it's who you work for, trying to get some more partners, trying to get some more clients, or even if it's just you trying to promote your own business, please feel free to reach out to us or to the admins of the league, and we would love to get you involved. I believe there is still some sponsorship spots open. I'm not sure about this league, to be 100% honest, but I do know for our Arcus series, we do still have some sponsorship spots open.
There is openings for
if
this
you would
league
like your
as
business
well.
to be, if you would like your business to be shouted out by this, I was going to say luscious, but I decided I didn't like the way that sounded halfway through my sentence, voice, then be sure to reach out. I know we and the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series, all of us over here would very much appreciate any new sponsors that want to get involved.
Yeah, there is some spots open for the Thursday night series, and it is actually not that expensive either. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that, but a little bit goes a long way here in the Doghouse Racing League, and we would definitely love it. I thought you were about to say if anybody out there has endless pockets or deep pockets, hit us up.
I mean, that too.
Yeah, that's what I would have led off with.
Something I am noticing here as well, to get back to the racing action here. Brandon Trush, which granted, he does only have one car there helping him, and that is the
Looks
30
like
machine.
90 is Zach Miller in that new 90 car tonight.
New 90 car, and he is a lap down, but Brandon Trush still on the lead lap, but it is only the 2 of them together, and they are actually losing time on this lead pack. So they have pretty much got to be hoping at this point that somebody runs out of gas. I know we had a little monkey wrench thrown in when we heard Tyler Millette come over the radio and say that he thinks he's going to be low. But as of right now, up front on lap 112 of 130 here, it is still the BMP show. Josh Cully still running there very comfortably in fourth.
Tyler Millette said he's going to be low. Is what you're saying. I thought you were saying he was low earlier.
And it sounded to me he was letting Eric Anderson and his group get a push around them because I think he thought he was going to be short. Just saw Brent McCoy announce over the in-race chat that he is pitting in. Brent is 17 laps down, currently running in 21st. That is the first car we've seen come down under this green flag run here.
Trying to see, I think Horn, Jennings, and Mike Leftwich are losing a little bit of time on this lead pack, trying to catch up. Don't have a lot of help between those three there. Not like this front pack, at least. They have a few lap cars helping them push up to the front as well. Kevin Thompson doing a great job staying on that bumper of Andrew St. Cour's teammate. Probably trying to set him up the same way. You wonder if Andrew St. Cour kind of wants to be second in this position right now.
I would expect to see a bigger block out of Andrew St. Cour at the end of this race if this is how this thing ends up. I think Andrew, great teammate, and obviously Kevin Thompson been a great teammate tonight as well, but I think Andrew would like to bring this one home, and I'm excited to see how that one ends up, if that's how this thing ends up going. Got SimSpeed Nation in the comments saying 6th on back, need a caution.
Yeah, and a lot of people need a caution.
They either need a caution or they need to hope that the lead pack is short. And as of right now, I have seen no sign that they are going to.
And if you pick the under on 2 or less cautions tonight, you are probably going to win that one because we've only had one this entire run.
Yep, been really clean racing, which we've come to know and expect out of the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series. Usually very, very few cautions. I mean, at this point, like SimSpeed just said, 6th on back, either need a caution or they need somebody to run out of gas. And 6th to 8th is about 8 to almost 9 seconds back. But then you go back to like Brandon Trush, Daniel Wilkerson, those guys that were running the pit road strategy. I mean, they're 20 seconds back at this point. They're 10 seconds away from getting lapped. Mark McCrae, who it looks like we do have a little family affair in the comments, because BMAC was saying good one nephew to Mark's comment earlier. Does BMP stand for BMAC performance? Mark says, remember, Andrew, if you're not first, you're last.
I think he's got that written on his dashboard coming into this race. Getting past in the last lap, last time out by Kevin Thompson on that high side. Coming out of turn 4. You got to think that's in the back of his mind as we're coming around here.
And again, I mean, we've talked about it time and again tonight. It has just been the BMP show here tonight. Andrew or Kevin leading almost all of the laps tonight. Brandon Trush over the course of the pit road strategy that him and Daniel Wilkerson and Tony Martin were running probably led about 10 laps, I would say. Which obviously really great for Brandon Trush. First time in the Doghouse Racing League Group 6 Cup Series. Get some laps led. Really, really great for him. But other than that, I mean, it has just been, once again, dominance out of those BMP guys here at Echo Park.
But Josh Cully's kind of taking a peek to the inside there to Gary Klume. Maybe setting up this move, trying to figure out what he's going to do there. Gary Klume probably hoping for the same thing to happen as last time. They start to fight it out the top. He might be able to sneak on the low side and get through it. Maybe Gary Klume's the first to make that jump to the outside a little earlier this time and get a push from Josh Cully. A lot of possibilities, man. A lot of risk high reward though if it does work out.
Sim Speed Nation again saying LPR, let's go. You got Daniel Wilkerson there in the 10th spot for team LPR. Tyler Millett a lap down, running in 18th currently, and then an unfortunate night for Justin McMahon, who he had a really fast car here tonight.
We might have jinxed that one talking about how good that car looks.
It looked good and it was racing good.
We tend to have the broadcast jinx first up here, but
I think one thing that might be saving that backpack a little bit is that they are all back together. Daniel Wilkerson and Brandon Trush now racing one after the other. They got Steven Bonomo in that pack as well. Eric Anderson, they're in that pack.
oh, St. Court drifts up just a little bit too high that time. Maybe trying to give it to Thompson.
Sim Speed Nation, I don't enjoy watching this from my hauler. It's Justin, by the way. Justin, if we gave you a broadcaster's curse, we're sorry, buddy.
Oh yeah, that was
The car, we were
my
talking
fault.
about how good it was looking. You were racing good.
That was probably my fault, to be honest with you. We were talking about the details of the car and how consistent you were, and got that same car out every year.
Just really buttering you up.
Yeah, just glazed. And then just put the
Krispy
curse right
Kreme.
on, drop the curse right on top of him.
Unfortunate. 5 laps to go, or 6 laps to go. Currently, still haven't seen any movement out of those guys in the top 4. Still just racing one after the other. Who is going to be the first one to try to make a move?
These guys need a caution bad. The second pack here between Jamie Horn, Jonathan Jennings, and Mike Leftwich. Jonathan Jennings' new car number kind of throwing me off there just a little bit. That 57 car there racing for Shoney's this season with teammate Mike Leftwich right behind him. Then you got about 10 seconds of separation between them and the third pack led by Brandon Trush. First night out here in the Doghouse Racing League, followed by the race admin Daniel Wilkerson right behind him, holding down that 10th place spot. Eric Anderson down 7 spots, had 2 good runs over the past 2 weeks, trying to find his way into the top 10, and Eric Woodman right behind him. Woodman's going to be a few laps down. That's not going to be poor position. Armijo, however, sitting in 13th, trying to get around 2 lap cars, and Tyler Millett, Eric Woodman, move his way up as well. And then Tony Martin also on the lead lap, trying to get that spot as well in 14th. Then you have to go all the way back to the next pack with Adam Gardner, who is actually in the first pack right now. Wow, I thought he was on the lead lap for a second there, but in the first pack.
We come back to the stripe, and it looks like Kevin Thompson, here with 3 laps to go, just made his first look to the outside. I don't know if he was testing it, wanted to see if he could get the run, but him and St. Court are starting to pull away just a little bit there. See Josh Cully maybe take a look to the outside. He's got the 14 there of Mark Dumont that might be able to give him a little bit of help, but these guys are starting to turn it on just a little bit. I think if you're Andrew St. Court, and obviously you're going to be... Oh
there's a car
my
around.
God.
That's got to bring out a caution. You got to think it does. I believe that was Atwood. Atwood's all the way to the wall. Green flag still out. He's off the track. White
Oh my
flag.
God.
White flag's
They
out.
take the white flag.
Thompson to the high
Kevin
side. Cully's
Thompson
gonna
again
fall.
to the high side. Gary Klume staying on the low side with his teammate Andrew St. Court. Kevin Thompson going to the high side. He's got help from Josh Cully. Chris Simon in the 21 also going all the way up.
Oh, Cully's getting
Cully's
around.
around. It's a race to the finish. Andrew St. Court.
I think
Kevin
Thompson,
Thompson.
I think Thompson got it.
Thompson wins again. At the last second. Kevin Thompson, your winner for the second time at Echo Park Speedway. 0.015 is your margin of victory.
Wow.
start to hear the congratulations roll in from the drivers. What a run again out of Kevin Thompson. If you still got any gas in that thing, my friend, burn it down. What a run again by Team BMP. Oh my goodness, look at the park on the checkered line right there. Beautiful. And Team BMP actually going to bring home the 1, 2, 3 this time. What a run again by Kevin Thompson using that high side. Again, no one really able to make that push tonight on the high side. Kevin Thompson makes it work for him. Gets a little help from Josh Cully. Unfortunate to see Josh go around there. Such a good run out of him still. Bring home a top 5 finish. Michelle in the comments rooting for Chris Simon. Sean Thompson saying, let's go T-shirt. Mark saying, I got deja vu. B-Mac, way to go, Kevin. Great race. Team BMP. Way to go, Andrew and Gary. What a race. Sean Thompson, boy, loves those free T-shirts.
Yeah, flashing back here, that last 2 laps where Atwood went around. Looks like the 14 car just got to the side of him, got him spun there. And then we were going to go back to Josh Cully if we can. I want to see what happened here. They were taking that high side. Looks like some netcode got to Simon as well. He gets spun all the way to the stripe. As he comes all the way to pit road to park it there. And going to the checker flag one more time just so we can see that run. I have to back it up just a little bit here for you to see when this actually started. Looks like as they were taking the final lap here, Kevin Thompson making his run to the outside, getting that side draft we talked about a little bit earlier tonight. Clune trying to help his teammate out on the bottom side, trying to find any way to get himself up into that second or first spot. And these guys are just going to drag race it out to the finish. See how well my Paul skills work here as we're coming through. That is going to be your margin of victory. Super close. Looks like deja vu from last week, as said in the comments.
I mean, that's as tight as they come. I mean, again, just congratulations to both of these guys on an insanely good run. Just dominating performance out of that team, but just congratulations on great racing, too. I mean, 2 of the all-time finishes we've had in the Group 6 Cup Series and in the Doghouse Racing League.
I'm going to go ahead and jump over to our interviews. I'm trying to get these guys out of here a little bit quicker for the next few races. I know they don't want to wait around after a run like that too long, but I do have Gary Clune coming up here to the booth first. Gary, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Sure do.
Hey, man, congratulations on another good run. Able to get that podium tonight. Looked like deja vu for you guys up there. What was the strategy like coming into the night for Team BMP?
Well, we were going to try and stick together as best as possible. We work really good together, especially on these drafting tracks. We're strength in numbers, and our strategy is just trying to stick together.
during that last two laps, I think as y'all crossed the stripe for the white flag, you saw your teammate go to the high side. You had to make a decision to pick low or high. What was the thought process between going high or low there?
Well, it's funny you ask because I was like, man, do I push Kev or do I stay down low and help Andrew out? Like, man, Kev won last week, so I was going to try and stay low and see if I can get Andrew to win this week. But seems like everybody bailed on the bottom. I'll have to look, but if I remember right, I don't think anybody was behind me, so I was having trouble getting to Andrew's bumper, and um, I think that was you know the result. There was Kev got the inch for the win.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's gonna be tough to pick a teammate whenever that situation happens. Just trying to get yourself to the front as well. You moved up 2 spots in the points from well, not last week, the week before, to this week. You should be moving up again, if I'm looking at my numbers correctly, probably into that sixth place spot. How do you keep that momentum going forward throughout the rest of the season?
For me, it's just trying to minimize my stupid mistakes. It seems like every race I cause some stupidness against myself. Not only do I have to race the track, I have to race my stupidity sometimes, and I just got to limit those mistakes and stay focused. It's basically the big thing for me.
I know that way too well. I think I shoot myself in the foot more than anything else when I'm racing. But congrats on P3 tonight. Before I let you go, anybody you'd like to thank or any sponsors you want to shout out?
Doghouse has been a great league, man. I'm so happy to be a part of it. It's um, learn from everyone in this group that races here. Um, I'm still fairly new to racing, to sim racing, so I'm still learning a lot. And all these guys in here help me out with that. Thanks Daniel for putting on this league, and all the admins do a great job. Um, for Kev, um, Andrew, Nick, um, and Spooby, Adam, we all have a good team. We do well together. I'd just like to thank them for pushing me and helping me get better, and it's great learning from these guys, man. They're really good.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again tonight. Looking forward to seeing you back up here next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the broadcast, and you guys do an excellent job.
I appreciate it. All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, see ya.
That's going to be Gary Clune finishing third place tonight. Had a bunch of good runs over this past season, made a ton of improvements from the little Ave race with him. He's currently sitting eighth in the points. Like I said, he'll probably move up to sixth, possibly in the points after the run tonight. Already got a win this season at Daytona earlier on in the year, getting his second podium of the night. Next up, I do have our second place finisher in Andrew St. Cour. You got a copy with us in the booth, Andrew?
I got you.
Hey, man, congrats on another good run tonight. You and your teammates out here just putting on a show, showing that you guys have a strategy, sticking to it. Ask Gary the same question. You said last week you're probably not going to change up the strategy much. It looks like you guys didn't. Was that kind of the plan coming in still?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we were, obviously trying to qualify to get up front, and we felt as though if we could get hooked up again, we could just control the flow of the race, especially if we got on the bottom. And we were fortunate enough to get 3 of the 5 of us hooked up on the bottom, and it's hard to compete on the outside with cars that 3 solid cars working together on the bottom line here at Atlanta, especially with the new package. So yeah, it was definitely the strategy definitely was what happened, and it was definitely a great run for us. So I got to thank the team for working so well together, and of course I got to congratulate Kev, unfortunately, for another win.
Yeah, that's going to be Kevin's second win in a row, at least for a points race here in the
Yeah.
Doghouse Racing League. So congrats to him and to the whole BMP team. You guys have been killing it, especially on these long super speedway style draft tracks. But the margin of victory, I think Hunter said, was 0.015 there at the end. Did you think you had it in the bag?
No, I didn't. I knew we were joking for the final 15 laps of the run. I was basically begging and pleading with him to, um, give me the win. You know, he had last one, right? And of course, he had no part in that. And I knew right from the beginning of the race, if we were in the same situation, he was going to make that move. And unfortunately for myself, I knew it was coming, and it's just so hard to defend. I think at all these super speedways, it's if you're the leader on the final lap, you're just a sitting duck. That's how it feels anyway. And I felt like I had a potential move um, to move up to block him in 3 and 4 that I didn't do in the last race. But this time he went to the high line off of 2, which was much sooner than he did on the last race. So he caught me off guard, and of course it was a great strategy by him because when he did that, of course he had a couple followers on the high line. I believe Josh and Chris Simon followed him up there. Then it was just myself and Gary on the bottom, and he just had that momentum. And I think he actually was a little bit further ahead of me coming through off 4 initially. Then I kind of closed the gap slightly before the line. I just kind of watched the replay there. It was kind of interesting how that worked. But great run by Kev. He played it perfect. I was trying to get selfishly, I was trying to get the most laps led again, and I was probably more aggressive on pit road than Kev was, because I was really wanting to get back out in front of him. And hindsight, maybe the better play for myself for the win would have been to stay in line off pit road and just stay in second. But anyway, live and learn. But it's really hard to be upset with a second place finish on a run like that. 2 weeks at a super speedway, two second places. I think I'd take that all day long.
Absolutely. And that's actually going to lead up to my next question. Was there ever a thought to drop back into second place as you guys are making that run with probably 15, 20 to go?
Yeah. I was actually asking him to make the pass on me, but he wouldn't do it. So I told him I'll give it to you. I'll give you the lead right now, and he just wouldn't go for it. So, but anyway, really, really happy for him.
Well, before I let you go,
I'm really happy for the team.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying I'm really happy for the team. Honestly, like we take so much pride in doing this at super speedways, and really put a lot of effort into working together. And it's just power in numbers in this situation. And if you got 2 or 3 people that are working really well together at super speedways, it can be all the difference in the world. And thankfully, and then you got to have people that have the knack for super speedways. And I know you know what I mean. Some
Yeah.
people are struggle or may not be as comfortable at the super speedway racing, but it definitely pays off when you have teammates that do. So, and to thank so thanks guys for the broadcast. Thanks Daniel, and the rest of the admins for the league. Having a ton of fun. Even last week on the off week, that fun race we did was so much fun. And I actually almost wish we did that a little more often. Just it was very relaxing and a lot of camaraderie, and everybody had a lot of fun. So that was good. And of course, got to thank the viewers out there for, I'm sure, watching again this week. And sorry I didn't. I'll probably get made fun of a little bit again this time for not winning. Basically, I think what's the saying? If you're not first, you're last. I was reminded of that many times last week. So it'll be good fun.
Oh yeah, we saw that in the comments once tonight. It directed your way, actually. If you're not first, you're last. But congratulations on coming in second place again tonight. Almost had it there at the end, but looking forward to seeing you back up here next week and continue your strong points run that you're having here this season.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. And yeah, really, really looking forward to go back and watch the broadcast. Thanks again.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Take care.
That's going to be Andrew St. Cyr coming in second place tonight, not by a lot, 0.015, which, I mean, that's probably one of our closer finishes. I mean, anytime that St. Cyr's at the line, it seems like it's going to be very close. I know we had that with Adam Thompson earlier this year and at Charlotte and ended up getting the win, and then 2 weeks ago at Atlanta. But coming up next, the winner of the race, I do have Kevin Thompson back up here again in the booth. Kevin, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, congrats! 2 straight for points races, excluding that Firecracker 150 that we had there. But 2 straight at your home track. It's got to feel good to move yourself up in the points. Tell us about your thoughts on the race and what the emotions were like in that last 2 laps.
Just like Andrew said during his interview, the last 15 laps we're just talking and cutting up and just making jokes and stuff like that about when I'm gonna make the move or does he want me in front of him would tend to go. And but first off, I just want to say BMP, when we get together on speedways, we're hard to beat. Other than that, uh, it's great to have a 1-2-3 finish for BMP. First time this season, first time in a while, and it's fun to race here. I love this track. I love speedway racing. It's like a chess going 190 miles per hour. You have to make the right move at the right time without wrecking somebody. Um, I would understand if he would have blocked or tried to block, but other than that, it was a fun race, and I'm glad we got to bring it home 1-2-3 and back-to-back wins at my home track.
Yeah, it seemed like you were the only one to kind of. Well, I mean, there was a few guys, but you were the main one to figure out how that high side works and let it work in your favor. Did you think the high side was playing a little differently tonight than it was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it seemed like it was. If you had the numbers up top, you have to side draft really hard to get to the front, or just to stay there beside the other side, the bottom car. But other than that, I think when the track cooled down a little bit, the top came back. But if we would have ran a little bit longer on the top, I wouldn't have been able to pass them, because I think the bottom, longer you run, is the better lane to go.
Yeah, we see that low side really get some good pushes tonight. You guys held it down all night long, didn't let nobody separate you, and that's I think that's really what paid off is that teamwork sticking together and working it out. But I do want to talk about next week going to Sonoma, a lot different from the tracks we've been racing, going to a road course. What are your thoughts on road courses?
I like road courses. Sonoma is one of my favorites. I'm not good at road courses, so these 2 wins helps me out a lot. And I'll just try to bring it home top 10 and keep it on track.
And that's the strategy I take every single race. Don't matter if it's a road course or a circle track. But I think I have you here in third place. Might move you up closer to second. I don't know if you're going to be having enough to pass, but 2 podiums this season looks like that's 2 wins. So definitely got those under your belt, and you get to take home the flag from Doghouse Racing tonight too, with the highest average finish of these 2 races. So I know that's what I fight for when I have races like this. For me,
Yeah,
it's more important than
that's
the
what I
points.
was. That's what I was fighting for most off, though.
Well, congratulations, man, on the win. 2 wins, both at your home track. Got to feel good. Get to hang that flag up, and looking forward to talking to you next week. Before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, y'all, and I got Nap Daddy on the car tonight.
I love it.
For putting on a great broadcast, Daniel for putting on a great league, my family that watches every week, and the teammates at BMP.
One more thing I want to tell you: you probably don't want to change that car scheme because it looks like it's good luck for you.
Oh yeah.
It's a good looking scheme, man. But I'll let you get out of here. Congrats again on the win tonight. Hopefully, we can keep going at the road course and even more, and keep getting up there in the points, sitting third now. Keep working your way up.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too.
That is Kevin Thompson. I told him I would not pick him to win this week because I felt like it was bad luck. But it probably was a better bet to pick him this week because the man knows what he's doing here.
He definitely does, man. Team BMP, obviously, just like they were saying. I mean, if you have 3 guys that can hook up and just really run their race and can kind of control the flow of everything, I mean, so obviously just very, very tough to beat here. And congratulations to them, obviously, for a really great team night. But then to Kevin and Andrew, I mean, the sportsmanship there, but also just great competition, crazy finish. I mean, that's great TV, but it's also just great racing. It's great to see that how well they run together, and it's just really fun to watch, man. Great job by everybody here tonight.
Absolutely, man. But I'm going to go ahead and get this grid ran down really quick before we get out here and talk about our sponsors. But finishing this race tonight, we can pull up the grid here. Kevin Thompson taking home first place by a narrow margin of victory. Picks up 2 at Atlanta. He's also going to win that Doghouse Racing flag. I know I keep talking about it, but it's a big deal. Andrew St. Cyr finishing in second place. Teammate Gary Clune in third. That's 1, 2, 3 for BMP here. Chris Simon going to bring home fourth place at Shoney's race team. Josh Cully finishing sideways across the stripe, got fifth. Good to see him back. Started from the back, now he's at the front. Also got Jamie Horn finishing sixth place. Jonathan Jennings in seventh. Mike Leftwich in eighth. Stephen Bonomo in ninth. Eric Anderson in 10th. Garrett Amigo is going to take home 11th place. 12th place, Tony Martin. 13th, Daniel Wilkerson. 14th, Brandon Trush. 15th is going to be Adam Gardner. 16th, Mark Dumont. Eric Warman in 17th, and Tyler Millette in 18th. We try to cut back to the down here at 19th, Zach Miller. 20th, Nick Atwood. Britt McCoy in 21st. Zach Michael 22nd. Newcomer Ray Rittenauer in 23rd. Justin McMahon involved in an early incident, 24th. Michael McDowell, 25th. Michael Dow, not McDowell, wow. 25th. Joe McKnight, 26th. And Chris Leftwich ran home in 27th tonight. Why don't you tell us about those sponsors before we head out of here?
I can handle that. Again, we just want to give the world's biggest shout out to Group 6. They are our series sponsor for the year. We really appreciate them for making this whole thing possible. Not only us being up here in the booth, but for these drivers being out there on the track. Group 6 is a leading creative agency, and they are passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com. Again, that's GROUP, the number 6inc.com, and see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks again to Group 6 for being our series sponsor this year. We are again also very proud to be sponsored in the Doghouse Racing League by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. We are also, again, very proud to be sponsored by Butt Kicker. If you want the very best in iRacing or sim racing haptics, be sure to head over to their website, thebuttkicker.com, and pick yourself up something today. A lot of drivers, not only in the Doghouse Racing League, but also very competitive drivers out there in iRacing and other sim racing, use a lot of Butt Kicker products. Longtime sponsor of the Doghouse Racing League and very well respected in the industry. Be sure to head over there to their website and pick yourself something up today to take your iRacing experience to the next level. And then, as always, shameless self-plug at the end for myself and John. I believe you might have heard it, maybe mentioned a few times throughout the race, but myself and John make up Nap Daddy Racing. Originally a iRacing design shop, we have expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for any and all of your iRacing needs. Check out the website at napdaddyracing.com. That's KNAPPDADDYRACING.com for all of your custom design, template, or logo needs. And be sure to check out some of the free content and templates that are available on the website as well. I know you saw several Nap Daddy designs out on the track tonight. I know Kevin mentioned he had Nap Daddy on the car. He mentioned Brandon Trush, newcomer to the Doghouse Racing League, who's running Nap Daddy Racing design as well. Even if you're not into iRacing, you just want to support the boys, be sure to pick up a t-shirt or a hat. Help support us over here. You can catch us on Doghouse Racing TV every single Thursday right here. Be sure you like and subscribe if you haven't yet. On our own channel on Mondays for another broadcast, and live on TikTok as often as we possibly can. We are very proud to be a part of the Doghouse Racing League and want to thank everyone so very much for joining here with us tonight. I know we had really good viewer count tonight. Really great support in the comments. So from the bottom of our hearts and from all of these drivers, thank you all for being here with us and enjoying the great racing that we have going on over here. We really appreciate it. The drivers appreciate it. One of the highlights of our week for sure. And I have been Hunter. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Thompson and St. Croix side by side. Racing it out. Who has the faster car to finish this thing? St. Croix is going to bring it home in first. What a race at the end of that thing. Caution, caution, caution. Come around the corner. Jamie Horn is going to be your winner here at the Mars Properties 200.